Alrighty, we'll continue with today's Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series media availabilities here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Overton's 301 with no stranger to this media center, Ryan Newman, driver of the number 31 Granger Chevrolet. Ryan has 3 career Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series wins here at New Hampshire with 7 top 5s and 18 top 10s. Ryan, you've obviously been pretty successful here at New Hampshire, and you enjoy racing in multiple NASCAR series here. Can you talk to us a little bit about those and your thoughts on coming here this weekend?
Well, just first of all, it's nice to get out 95-degree weather and come up here, and even if with a little bit of sprinkle, it's much better. But you know, the area, the fans, every part of it, every aspect of it, I enjoy up here. The racetrack obviously is a little bit different with the VHT, whatever you want to call it, and we tested up here, so it's kind of ironic to come back and actually go a little bit slower in race trim with the added grip to the racetrack than what we tested up here. So we got ourselves scratching our heads a little bit. We're more competitive than we were at the test, but speed-wise, the track seems to be a little bit off.
Outstanding. With that, we'll open up for questions. We'll start here with Jerry up at the front.
Jerry Jordan,
you going for it?
Yes, I am. PRN kicking the tires. Jimmy went for a bike ride in Detroit. Dale went last week. What's your workout plan, and what are your thoughts on this whole bike craze?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the whole bicycle deal, and I don't quite get those guys and the amount of money they spend on a whatever it is, a 32-ounce bicycle, when all they got to do is just go on Craigslist and get a Schwinn or something like that and pedal half the distance and twice as hard and get better workouts. So I offered, I guess it was probably back Talladega weekend, I offered to get a moped and cut the air for Kenseth and those guys just to kind of give them a little draft, some drafting partners, you know. And but they haven't taken me up on it, so I've just been enjoying fishing and a little bit of the outdoors. My workouts consist more of doing physical activities and sweating than paying money for a bicycle just to coast downhill.
We'll go to Amy and then to Rich.
Amy, Race Pro Weekly. With your win already on a season, what's your mindset going into the remaining races until the playoffs?
We're trying to get our train back on its track, so to speak, from where we were in Phoenix. And our mile-and-a-half program has really struggled. Our short track program is not where we need it to be. Even in Phoenix, we didn't lead the amount of laps that we should have if we led the right one. But, you know, we haven't dominated. And we see the 78 and the 42, at times the 48 and the 18 have been dominating, maybe not all leading the last lap, but in general, we're not leading enough laps to be as competitive as we need to be for those last 10 races. So our focus is, like it always is, to make the cars drive better, drive faster, and put our
all those 3 wins, or were they just 3 distinct races?
My first one, we had no brakes, which the next 2 definitely had brakes. So, you know, I don't know. I think the biggest thing, and I've always said, and I've said it in here several times, is that this is the birthplace of track position. We always qualified well. I think if you look at my qualifying efforts for those wins, I bet the average is close to 1, 2, or 3. And, you know, I think in general it's just a track that it's somewhat difficult to pass if you have a fast race car. You can keep it there all day. The way the strategy works out, typically you don't need a whole lot of fuel. If you got a good car, you're good on your tires, and clean air is always a gain.
Go in the back to Lee.
SpencerMotorsport.com. Can you describe what's going on when the cars are in the VHT? Because after listening to first practice, there were so many different varying degrees of reports from the drivers, and some guys saying if they got 2 in and they couldn't get out of it, it almost felt like they were going to snap loose. Can you just kind of explain to us in layman's terms what's going on?
I don't know about the layman's terms, but in general, I think the toughest thing is VHT is a chemical, so it reacts with heat, it reacts with our tires, it reacts with friction differently at different times, and at the same time, I do believe it does spread around a little bit. So what we do up in that higher groove, we actually pull that rubber back down, we carry it down the straightaways. There's different aspects of it instead of just the typical asphalt racetrack. So I think from our standpoint, there are more questions about how long does it take for it to come in? How long do our tires, or how do our tires react to it with the chemical reaction that happens here compared to a concrete track at Bristol, or a different tire and track combination, asphalt combination at Charlotte. So there's a lot of hesitancy, I think, to just going out and going, bonsai fast. We kind of work our way up to speed, and your biggest question after that is it going to be there the next time? It's like a dirt track looking for the cushion. If that cushion gets knocked down, then you got to adjust. And right now, it's kind of acting as a cushion for us. Courage. Yeah. Seriously, I mean, you just kind of get a feel for it. Like qualifying wise, it was more second lap quicker than first lap, and tires just seem to be wanting to take a little bit more time to come in than they typically do here for whatever reason.
Anything additional for Ryan here? Ryan, thanks for coming in, and good luck on
Thank
Sunday.
you.